Hello, welcome back to the Bleeping Mechanic. Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubes, got another project. Today we're going to be tackling this side-by-side, the RZR XP4. We went up north and had some problems with the clutch. Put a brand new belt on it last season and I'm like, oh, that couldn't be the problem. Let's show you what you need to do and what you should do often with these things to make sure you don't blow up a clutch, smoke a belt. Preventative maintenance you should do probably almost after every ride. Let's go ahead and tackle this thing. So something we're going to do today that needs to be done on these things quite often, at least looked at once in a while, is pulling this primary and secondary cover off and checking out your belt and your clutches. You have a primary and a secondary. I'll show you all that here in a second. But let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So we're back here on the driver's side rear, and what we have is this whole thing right here. There's a little drain hole down here at the bottom to make sure you don't get in the water. There's about 8 or 9 screws that go around the entire perimeter, and we have one screw that holds the tube up here that goes up to this internal vent, or this vent system to allow fresh air to flow in there. But what that also allows for is a lot of dust. So let's go ahead and start working this cover off. So to tackle this job, there's a few things you're going to need. One that I like to keep, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff I keep in this vehicle, is a flexible nut driver set. And these are pretty cheap. You can find an inexpensive kit on Amazon. This one I think is specific for the Ranger, or for the RZR Ranger, and there's another one, I forgot, General. But it's all using the same stuff. And what it comes with is a little socket tray of small sockets, as well as a flexible nut driver. And the reason why it's a flexible nut driver is because a few of these screws are in a spot that you can't just get straight to. So flexible driver allows for that, and this is a 8 mil that takes that off. So let's go ahead and start loosening up all those. So there's a reason why I highly recommend a little kit like this to keep inside of your side-by-side. One is you could do some service while you're out there to make sure what's going on is actually what's going on. If you blow a belt, you can change it. So there's a couple other parts that I will always recommend you have. Obviously the toolkit, which is very simple. This right here is the tool. This is made out of billet aluminum for this particular model, and this will allow you to compress the clutch. And a factory belt. I keep all those inside of my glove box. It's big enough that I can keep that plus one of those like little aerosol fire extinguishers, just because where we're usually riding is pretty dry and dusty. Who knows? Plus, might as well, right? It's a little can, finding it at like Walmart or Home Depot or something like that. A little aerosol, looks like a can of like duster spray, but it's actually fire spray. So good thing to keep. So we're going to go ahead and remove the rest of these, and then remove that clamp holding on the tube. And this is the one right here that I was talking about. It's right at the shock tower. You can't get, well, you could probably get a stubby in there, but it's just annoying. But the flexible works perfect. A couple more to go and we're all set. So we've got all those loose. And this comes off, but we're going to take this one last one up here off. And the reason why you don't have to take this upper one off, the reason why I take it off, it allows for a little extra range of motion. There's just a single one here. This is a 10 mil versus the 8 mil. And by loosening this, you'll see what I'm talking about. There you go. So now it already started falling away. So you're going to pull this straight out, and you have to kind of work it a little bit around the front primary to get it off. There we go. And then now we can just move this out of the way. And that's the reason why I take that upper one off. So now you can see, these clutches. There's one that's connected to the engine and one that's connected to the transmission. This is the one that's connected to the engine. That's primary. This is the one that connects to the transmission. And right now I'm looking in here. Doesn't look too bad. I can tell there's some dust. And I'm going to get my air gun and I'm going to blow this out. This belt is new. Well, newer as I mentioned. But there's a thing you can do to help clean these belts off. Plus, you want to get all the dust out. So let's go ahead and grab our little tool, and I'll show you how to do that. So that goes in here, and what that does is that presses and compresses to allow this belt to free up. And then now we can take this belt and work it off. There we go. Oop. All right, so there you go, got that off the front, and then we got it off the back. So the belt is off. So now that the belt's off, what we can do is we can clean this up. But there's a few things that you want to do and check out. So on your secondary, you have these little nylon, they're very hard, they're almost like urethane, and what can happen is they develop somewhat of a gap. If that gets excessive, you'll get clunking back and forth. This one isn't too bad. It's got a little bit of wear, but not bad. But it does wear this down a little bit. It actually can wear both the aluminum or this bushing. Either one, if you get any excessive wear, you do want to replace it. And it's easy to do. Bolt slides off. That's it. Same with here, double check and make sure there's nothing else going on. Now we're going to address some other parts on here. So let's go ahead and address that real quick. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take compressed air and we're going to blow out as much as this we can. And it's dusty. Also, don't forget to blow the inside of the cover. And wipe down any surface you can. So the next spot that I consider to be very crucial is actually the surfaces that the belt rides on. You can build up a glaze on it, and that glaze can cause the belt to slip. What you do is you take yourself a Scotch-Brite pad, and then you take yourself some brake cleaner and some paper towel. And what I do is I Scotch-Brite the surface and then wipe it down with some brake clean paper towel. And what you're trying to do is just remove some of that debris that's sitting on there. You're going to see real quick here the difference. So got a little brake clean on a rag, and then you're going to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the Scotch-Brite's going to remove some of that, and we don't want to make it in a perfect swirl finish. So I like to have it go like back, forth, back, forth. We just want to remove, like I like to do like this, turn it a little bit, Go up and down. Turn a little bit, go up and down. We're gonna do this on both of these. I'm gonna do it twice on each one to remove that glazed surface. And we just keep getting that cleaned off. And that's gonna help that belt grip real well. That's actually belt residue. Now I'm gonna show you real quick the reason why I do that. It might be a little difficult to see it on camera, but there is, the shine is a little less shiny. There's like fine, you can see those real fine, that's just the Scotch-Brite just kind of scratching the surface very, I mean, it's not harder than the aluminum, but it's removing the debris. And that's what we did on both of those. So there you go, that's done. They've been sprayed down and wiped down as well. I'm just gonna give them a quick blow down one more time. So our next step here is we're gonna take a bucket, clean bucket, with our belt, with some just water and a little bit of dish detergent, just a little bit. And we're gonna scrub the belt down just to remove any kind of particulate that might be on there. And we're just putting a couple of drops of dish detergent in there. Just a little bit of foaming action, not much. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the belt, get it nice and wet. I'm just using a little scrubby brush, scrub down the surfaces that ride on those clutch surfaces. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna grab my other spare. I'm gonna do the same thing because I just don't recall if I did that. And this will help keep those belts running good and long without worry of hopefully exploding on you and causing a lot of damage. All right, so after we Scotch-Brite those surfaces in straight lines, we basically just moved around straight, turned it straight. So this way we don't want a circular pattern. Got those all cleaned up, blown out. Everything's all set and ready to go to put the belt back on. Got the clean belt. Now when you install your belt, install it so you can read it that way. So it's gonna sit in there like that with the words and everything readable across the top, not the other way around where you're reading it backwards. So first we're gonna put it on the primary in the front, like so. So first we feed it on the primary in the front, and then we're gonna use our compression device here to open up our secondary, nice and far. And then we're gonna go ahead and then get this to fit into that nice and easy without pinching anything. Gonna let it work itself nice and easy. Help it along. There you go. And we'll pull this out. All right, now it's sitting in there. All right, we just worked it nice and easy around. And we're just gonna roll this back and forth until it takes up its slack. And there you go, it's taking up its slack, so now it's sitting in there in its correct position. So the belt's in, everything's been clean and blown out. So now it's time to put this back together. But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this gasket out of here and just double check it. And I know the bottom had some gunk in it, and I just wanna make sure it's clean because there was some dirt and debris. And this is just a foam gasket. I just want to clean out the grooves real quick because this bottom groove had some junk in it, and I want to make sure that it seals nice and good. So I'm going to go take a rag real quick and wipe down that bottom groove inside the case. And that will make sure that no water seeps in around here. All right, so we went ahead and laid the gasket, clean gasket back in there. So let's just reverse this process. Actually, I know there was going to be some debris in here. I'm going to wipe it down real quick. Just some dust inside of here. There you go. Just gonna blow that out. One more time. There we go. Blow out the clutch area. Everything's good. Let's get it back in. So to get it back in, you have to feed it across the primary and the bottom first. Otherwise, you won't get it in around the spring. There we go. And then you just line this up like so. Start getting your screw started. Make sure, big key thing here is to make sure you have it sitting in the groove so you don't have a gap and you don't let water in the bottom of the case there. So don't tighten any one spot up until you get all the screws in and started. All right, everything's tight and everything's in place. Now that completes it for the belt being put back in, cleaned up, the housing cleaned up, the clutch or the primary and secondary clutches getting cleaned and scrubbed down, wiped down. But you do got to do one last thing, is you got to drive it. But you have to drive it in a very particular way to make sure that belt doesn't get cooked. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start it up, get it up to operating temperature, drive the vehicle in its lowest setting, in this case in low gear, varying the speed. Don't go more than maybe 50% throttle, going up and down in speed, but never going higher than about 3/4. Changing variable and keep doing that off and on. Come to stops, let it cool down every couple minutes. Just kind of do that just to get everything warmed up, touching, and get some of that material to just start seating back in those primaries. After you do that, if you do that for about 10 or 15 miles, then go into high gear, and you can do this on different days if you want to, then go into high gear and drive it for another 40 or 50 miles, not exceeding 3/4 throttle, no heavy pulling, no heavy towing, no heavy hill climbs, no excessive weight. Just drive around again, variable those speeds. Give it some time to cool down, but just you're basically adding a little extra strain than what the low gear did. Do that again for, like I said, about 40 or 50 miles. Then you're all set. At that point, your belt has been well seasoned to the clutches. Your clutches have a little bit of material on there, should stick nice and well. And at that point, you're good to go have fun. So other than that, guys, other than me going out and doing that now, this is done. So we'll see you on the next one. Make sure you thumbs up, give this video a like, and we hope to see you on the next video. Have a good day.